Hey everyone, this is Nathas, and I'm going to be playing More Than Moost in the round one of the Shufflebus Qualifier League. So this is a multi-week league where you can basically qualify for the Shufflebus Invitational if you make the top 8. So I'm really excited to be joining this league, and I think this is going to be a really fun game to play against More Than Moost. So me and him will be jumping on the game in a second. Let me just reach out to him to make sure that we can get on the voice call, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, so for this week, though, I decided to bring. Oop, never mind. I'm jumping on the call now, so I'll talk in a sec. Hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
Do you have a room open or do you want me to hop open one?
Either way works for me.
All right. Um, and then invite. And the password's 123. Do you have to type in a password if you join through this uh Discord
It
invite?
looks like I did not.
Okay, good to know.
All right. So how you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, I had a period right after Fuse Fest. I got COVID, and so that kind
Oh
of
no.
for a bit. I'm excited to be back, but then I just started the Think Like a Game Designer course
Oh
that I
nice.
um, so I'm evaluating. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have even less time for SolForge now.
No, I get that. Yeah, that's crazy. That course sounded like it was gonna be a lot of fun. Have you been enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it just we had our first group call on Thursday of last week, and that was really good. And so yeah, I'm really excited. I did some card designs. I have a board game design that I've been working on for a bit with some friends, and so we're going to take that and use that as the project for this
Oh,
course.
that's really exciting.
How about you? How have you been?
I've been doing all right. Just very busy with work and stuff, trying to play and stream whenever I can. But it's just been really tough to balance everything just because it's just like work's been just crazy hours and just very busy. But other than that, life's been good. Set two's been a lot of fun. I actually completely forgot about this tournament, and then I was playing with Cardboard Newt yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, like you should join." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, the deadline is literally in like a half hour to sign up." So I like ran to sign up, and I was like, "What am I gonna play?" So then I just picked one of the decks that I had that was fused that I haven't played in a little while. I'm like, I guess we'll go through this. So I'm not playing anything fun in set two, but it's just I was like, let's do it. But yeah,
Nice. I have a similar thing of last night at 11:57 my time. I signed up.
yep. I think I actually signed up at like 12:01 my time, but it was luckily still before that in what's it called in the east or the west coast.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on the West Coast, so I had three
Nice.
minutes to sign up. I made
Oh
it.
no. Well, I'm glad you made it. All right, so let's see what
Yeah.
you got. This looks like a really good purple half.
Ooh, ooh.
All right, so we're going Nova Elementalist. This will be interesting because I haven't used this deck against that before. I
Mm.
actually wanted to bring my Nova Elementalist deck, but it's got two top finishes on it, and I'm planning to play it in our store champs on Wednesday. So I was
Oh,
like, I can't
nice.
bring that. So
We got Feral Instinct Glow. Oh, double Kindred with a Glow Hive and Feral Instincts to give them breakthrough? That is scary.
yeah, it's an interesting deck for sure. I just have
Alright,
to hope that your removal doesn't get to me.
I'll start with this Charger Mammoth.
Man, this is actually a tough first hand. It's not what I want to be seeing. I think at this point, probably these two are the most important. Um, yeah, and I feel like I need to force you to not charger, or you do charger, and then I'm fine with that, I guess. All right, I guess we're starting with the Kindred Slayer here, and then two.
Um, put a Stampeding Colossus here.
All right, so I think we're going that. That'll at least absorb some damage. This is gonna die though. I did not think you were gonna be able. I was like, there's not a high chance that this was gonna die, and now that's the card that will do it. So what I do here is I play the Glow Hive, so I gain 4. This gets +2/+2, and this
Okay.
gets 4 attack,
4. All right, so the mammoth is gonna die, and this will go to 1.
and I take 1.
Yeah, I was really scared of that Virix Embrace. Would have.
Yeah, the Varix Embrace would have been nice there. Just bring that end turn button down. All right, let's see. What are we doing here? I think we're starting with this. I'll start with the Stout Hide Stegodon, so I gain 3. This will gain 3 attack. And then 2.
Hmm. Okay, I am going to. Oh, that thing has breakthrough on that thing. I will play a. Man, I really want to play this, but can't fall so far behind on tempo. Okay, I will play a Lyria.
Yeah,
I'll put the Lyria here, and then I'm just going to shuffle my discard until there's a level
perfect.
1 on top. There we go. And I'll put this here, and I have no spells to banish.
All right, so you got a 7/3. Hmm. So I think what I'm gonna go for is that it?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, these are both in the
you're good.
back.
So I guess I'm gonna start with an Om Nom Nom. I'll hit the Sentinel. I'll get a zombie, which I'll throw here. And then 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're gonna hope. Okay, I'm gonna play a Dark Heart
Yeah,
here. All right, so then chump blocking this.
you take
I take
5.
5.
I'm taking 4. All right.
I will. I'll play Ceruzal the Deceiver,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's I get to play this, which is a spell, and I'll play this. Um, I'll play this behind her, and then that's a spell for the
Yep.
Dark Heart, so I heal 2, you take 2.
All right.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yep.
Hmm. So let's see what's the most important here. So that's second. Either this or this. Hmm. Which one helps me more later in the game? Honestly, probably this is a little more aggressive. I'm going to start with the Summoning Council.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. So this is 2 damage to each enemy creature. We're about to go on a cycle 2. I'm actually going to do. Sorry about that. Let's
That's all
go.
good.
Let's play smart. We'll go Relentless Wanderers instead. And then 2.
Okay.
Sorry, this is in the back.
Unfortunately, I did not get my Nova Elementalist.
Oh no.
I'm gonna deal 5 to this guy, and then deal 5 to your Glow Hive,
Sounds good.
and then back to you.
So those will trade. This will be fine. That's got stealth. Yeah, I think I just pop out the Kindred Bear here.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm
What
taking
is?
3.
Oh, of course, you've got life drain there. All right, and then I take 2 on the breakthrough.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so I think to start, we've got to go this. Yeah. So we're starting with the Stout Hide Stegodon, so I gain 4.
Ooh, okay, and that's gonna buff that guy.
Then I will play, or sorry, I'll activate, I meant to say, to make a Wisp. Right? Yeah, because then if you do, yeah. Alright, and then 2.
Okay, so what kind of follow-up do you have? You have Primal Surge, Summon the Infernal Ritual, Solstice. You don't have any minion buff stuff. Okay. If I kill anything, you have a chance to do stuff. So I will play a. Hmm, I'm gonna play a Nova Elementalist, but I'm gonna play that Nova Elementalist in this row
Mhm.
to get the Rumble Spark, and then that's a spell.
Yep.
1, 2, and then that's gonna transform and put the Rumble Spark. Uh, yeah, I'll put the Rumble Spark here. Okay, back and then back to you.
Alright. So I think what we're gonna do, we do that. Have you have it. I think we've got to push that. 5, 7. Alright, so I guess the first thing I'm doing here, we're doing this for sure. Sorry, this is just a weird sequence. I just got to be
Oh,
careful about
that's okay. Yeah.
what I hit. So I think I want that there. I need this there. You have that, you have it. I have to make you do that. Alright, so I guess the way we're going to handle this is I'm going to start with a Feral Instinct on the Kindred Bear. So I'll give that +3 attack, 3 armor, and breakthrough. Then what we're going to do, that one, you'll need to do just 1 there. Because I gain life this turn, I'm going to Primal Surge on this to give it +2
Okay.
attack and 2 armor. And I'm doing that for free. And then the question is, am I going to use my life drain ability here, or am I going to save it? So you use that, you deal 2 to everything. If I do that, this gets +2. That lives. I don't care too much about 3 damage here. That's like such a turning point though. Alright. So I think here I'm willing to pass. 2.
Okay. I will play a Witherfrost Circle, and I'm playing it, I think, in this lane.
Yep.
Um, so then I'm going to give -2/-2 to your Kindred Bear,
Okay.
and then I played a spell, so this gets buffed by 4,
Hmm.
and now I'm going to use.
You also gain 2, I lose 2.
Yes, 2, thank you, and then I'm going to use my Forgeborn ability to deal 2 to each of your creatures.
All right.
Okay, and then we go to combat. I'm going to take 2 on the break through these guys' trade.
Yep.
1, 2, and then
I'm
this goes
taking
down to
3.
2. And then post combat, not even post combat, during combat, this thing dies, goes here. It's
Hmm.
going to re-trigger 1, 2. You take 2, and then bring the Rumble Spark back. And I guess I don't want you to keep getting wisps. That feels bad. But I guess what it has 3. I can deal with it some other way. And this is back as a 4/8 now.
Good stuff. That's the one card I wasn't ready for this, because I was like, all right, there's not much that could remove my power, but it was the Witherfrost, and I guess Varnus Pack could have done it too.
Again, I don't have anything. I didn't have a level 1 to upgrade there. Hmm. Okay, I will. I think it's just gonna keep getting bigger, and I don't have a way to kill it right now, so that makes me sad. I will play Ceruzal the Deceiver and pass to you.
So if you deal damage to the enemy player with another creature, you may transform it. And the other side is stealth. If this was, oh, that's cool. I've never actually flipped the Sezreal card before. All right,
It's
I like
so
that.
much harder to flip than Rumble Spark
That
is.
is very true. Very true. All right, so let's see. How are we gonna do this turn? I think we're gonna play this first. This is gonna go there, and I activate, and then I activate. Yeah, that's the move. All right, so I'm gonna start with a Kindred Slayer here. I'm going to activate my ability. I'm going to deal 4 damage to Darkheart. I gain 4. So these each trigger. This is 3. Then I will activate. I'll play a Wisp here. And then 2.
Mm, goodness. 2 Kindreds and a Glow Hive is so strong. I don't. I mean, already this Kindred Bear, now this Kindred Slayer. Oof, that is tough to deal with.
That's what I gotta hope with the advantage that Rumble Spark gives. but it's still. I feel like it's actually an uphill battle for me though, because Rumble Spark gets so much value. But we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, we're pretty tied in health, and if you get two big scaling things that I'm just never able to deal with,
I get what you're
that's gonna
saying.
eventually kill me. Ugh. So okay, I am going to. I guess now this does do something, whereas before it didn't do anything. I will play a Tharna's Pact
Yeah,
to get a zombie, and I'll give them -2/-2 to your Wisp,
yeah.
and then this gets 4 attack.
All right. How do we want to do this? I think it's still just got to be this. So if I do that on that, I think that sets me up in a good spot. I'm still going to take a lot of damage this turn, but that's going to make you really have to race. So I think that's the move. So I'm going to play a Hematophagic Shambler. I will destroy my Relentless Wanderers.
Okay,
So
wow,
I'm
yeah,
gaining
that's gonna.
4, which is 2 life gain triggers, and you're taking 1.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is getting +4, +4.
Yeah, this is now I'm essentially having to chump block 2 lanes for the rest of the game because I just could not clear out this bear, and this guy is gonna. That's just gonna, yeah, this is gonna
Yeah,
hurt.
but at least
Okay.
this is the best trump blocker in the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is gonna stealth over, so I'm taking 3. This is taking 4. I'm taking 8.
Mm-hmm.
This is taking 3, and I'm taking 4 more.
Okay, and a creature that I have did deal damage to
Yep.
you, so I get to transform, and that's like I get this guy's scarier, but this guy realistically I can get rid of.
I get it.
Yeah, I guess I have to do it here, and then I'll chump. I guess next turn I'll have to chump that. Is this 8? Yeah, 8. Okay.
All right. Hmm. I think this probably has to come out first. That will still be a thing. Can I take damage here, though, is the problem. I think this is the move, unfortunately. Run cycle 2, turn 3. I will have Army Commander next turn. You will have Gale Surge, which actually could be huge. I need to, I think, just build the pillow fort. I'll play a Kindred Bear here, and then pass.
Okay, I have a tough decision to make. Um, if I don't do this now, hmm. Sorry, this is just a very tough decision
I
to
get
make.
it.
I'm so scared.
No, I get it
Um,
100%. Take your time.
uh, okay, so So if I don't do that now, well, and that will. Okay, I'm gonna play a Stampeding Mongosaur. I'm gonna hit my Ceruzol for 9, and
Mhm.
I'll deal the 9 to your level 2 Kindred Bear.
Yeah. All right. So we got a shamble
Okay, so
trigger.
that's.
So I
Mm-hmm.
gain one, you lose one. This gets +2, +2. This gets 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Is that it?
And back to you. Yep.
All right. Let's see. How do we want
Oh,
to
this
do
is
this?
such a scary situation to be in.
Oh, I know, and I'm also a little terrified too, though, because right now you have a health advantage, and I'm probably going to be taking some damage. That being said, it's like I have big creatures that you have to start chumping. Um, I feel like though the only real answer here is to play this instead. I don't like it, but it keeps my thing alive.
Oh, I see. I don't like when you phrase things that way.
Yeah, I get it. So I think this is the plan though. Because if I do this, that doesn't help me as much. Your thing is going to continue to get bigger. Can I take 12, 16? That'll put me to 20. That's a lot of damage to potentially be taking, but I think I'm going to risk it because why not? So I'm going to play a Soul Reap. I'll target Cesarol, so I'm going to deal 3 to that, I gain 3, and then I'll deal 3 to you, I gain 3. So I'm getting 6.
Okay. Oh, and that's 2
So yeah,
procs.
so this
Oh,
gets
okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2.
Okay. All right. Oof. I was like, no, there's nothing he's gonna be able to do to get 2 procs of healing. Um, okay, so, and I don't have that. All right, I'll play a Charger Mammoth.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Alright.
then this
So
takes 1, 2, 3, and 1 breakthrough.
yeah, so that dies. We'll do the
Uh,
kindred stuff at the end, or
yeah,
we'll do the scrambling at the end. Yeah. So
okay.
this will take 9.
Uh,
1, 2, 3,
I'm
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I take 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. This takes 10. And then I take 4. And then
so
shambling trigger
1.
happens first. This gets.
Technically, this happens before that
Yeah, oh,
because it
true.
happens
You're
when
right.
it dies. So it gets 1, 2, 3, 4 as an extra
Yep.
spell.
Alright, and then you're playing it in this lane. Alright, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's gone now.
Um, okay, how do I? Goodness gracious, this is tough. Okay, so wait, okay, we're into the new cycle, so I can give mobility. You can upgrade. Okay. Oh. I will. much does level 2 Soul Reap do? Is it? I
I
think
think
it's
it's 5 and 5.
6 or is it 5? Okay. Um.
I'll confirm. It is 5 and 5.
Okay, and then Om Nom Nom is also 5 at level 2. Okay, so 5 is important. The Om Nom Nom. All right, I will play a Stampeding Colossus and pass to you.
All right, let's see. I think I have to do this here, and then we'll see what happens. So I'm going to Vyrix Embrace the Charger Mammoth before you can get that off. So I gain 4. And 2.
Um, Now that, oh, okay, so I gotta just put my biggest thing and hope you can't kill it. So I'll play this here,
Mhm.
and then I'll activate, and I will deal 2 to your Kindred Bear.
Yeah. All right, now I got to do some math. I don't think I could kill you right here, but I could get very close.
Oh, no!
All right, let me actually. I got to do the math.
You got some breakthrough in your hand or some removal?
So if I do that. That does put you on the back foot, so maybe that's just still the
Oh, the
answer.
Vyrix Embrace.
Yeah, because with
Oh,
Army
okay.
Commander, I could Vyrix Embrace
Yeah.
that. I'll gain 8, which will get that to 35. Which means I could technically get you to 3. And then I'll go down to 16. So I'll take 8, go to 24. I think that's what I have to do, because then if I draw a Shambler.
Don't forget your healing from the Vyrix Embrace too.
Yeah,
Oh, you were already at it. Okay.
because that'll happen. Hmm. Yeah, so I think that's what I do. Because then that puts a lot of pressure. And actually, technically, then if I draw Feral Instinct too, that just, I think, does it. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate Army Commander.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to upgrade Varric's Embrace and return it to my hand. I will then Varric's Embrace the Nova Elementalist, so I deal 8, gain 8. This will get +3/+3. This will get +2/+2. So that will still die even if I were to do this here. So then because I gain life, I'm Primal Surging here.
Oof. Okay. Just barely surviving
Just
here.
barely surviving. So I'll not going to put the armor on here because that's not going to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you'll take 40 and you're going to go to 3. I'm taking 12 first. Then I'm taking 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4.
All right, one of your kindreds is gone.
That is true. Oh, man.
Oh, okay. And then I did damage you, so this transforms.
That is correct.
Um, um, I'll put this guy here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So I need to put pressure. Um, if I do, interesting. I think it has to be this first. And if I do that, I think that puts me where I need to be. Although, I'm just doing some math. See if that works.
Math is important. I'm all for doing math.
Alright, so if this goes there, then I do that. That'll be there. So I think this has to go here. I can't let that happen. So I do that, I'm taking that. This is there, this does that, that's there. And if you do that, okay. I'm playing a Kindred Bear here. And I do.
All right, I'll play a Dark Heart Sorcerer,
All
and
right.
I'll pass to you.
So this actually changes my play. That's the one card that you couldn't play for me to feel comfortable. So now I got to decide if I still do what I was planning. I think the answer is still yes.
Okay.
Because if I do that, that's just a lot of potential that I'm taking. I think maybe it's just I have to play this and not do the ability. So if I do that, that grows. And this is if you deal that. Oh man, this is a really hard decision now. I just so if I do that, so that's gonna die no matter what. If I do this first, I'm taking that. That'll die. So that'll all die. Man, this is really risky. Then you just play a spell and then you live through this. I'm taking 14, 15, 16, 17. And that puts you in a really good spot. You've also got your Gale Surge. So you could mobility this here, mobility that there. So that's going to be 15, 17. Oh man, that Dark Heart foils my plan, I think. So that might be it for me then. So, still, I place this there. You play a spell. That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And I die right there. Yeah. I think that means you're going to cut this. There's nothing I could have done differently on that turn. Oof, this is tough. This is actually really tough. Like I know this is the card I have to play. I think because those in the front, you can push enough. Because I missed one thing and you hit the Dark Heart So if you didn't hit Dark Heart, actually no, I think the triggers will still make it, so I would have died um, even if you didn't hit the Dark Heart because of Gale Surge, which I forgot about. So we'll go. It's gonna be this. It's gonna go here. I think is the best place I can put it because then that means you can't hit me with both, and I have to not kill that. So if I do this here, I'm taking 12, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22 just off your ability. If I do this, yeah, I think it's just I have to actually get rid of this. I think that's my only hope.
You're getting rid of your Kindred Slayer?
Although because you have mobility on everything, that also doesn't work. That Gale Surge gets it. So I'm going through every possibility of my hand right here. Because if I do this, get rid of that, you just move everything over a lane and you're fine. If I do this here, let's go. Yeah, all right, so I guess what we'll do, oh, but then if you leave this open, okay, that's the one thing I didn't consider, is that if you start moving stuff around, that you're going to have to take damage too. All right, so you know what, we'll just place this here, I think. That's the best placement, if I'm not mistaken. I do not sacrifice one of my cards.
Okay.
So then, let me just make sure, because with mobility, you will have to move stuff around. Furthest this one could go is there. That means to get this out of the way, probably gonna have to. I think that's the place. Let me just do the math one more time to make sure the
Mm-hmm.
situation, because that moves the max of 2, which means the furthest this can go is here. So actually, I think this is the spot. Because if you do it the other way, then I'm taking both. All right, this is where I go. Final answer.
Okay. And then you're not doing the
No,
deploy?
I will not.
Okay. Then I will um all I have to do is just chump block and kill. Yeah, okay. So I will use I guess yeah, I'll use my Forgeborn power to give 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mobility this over, mobility this over, and then nothing is gonna die. Right? This doesn't kill this, this doesn't kill this, this doesn't kill this, and then oh, you're at 21, not 12. Oh,
Yes. So here you can
oh, that's
rearrange how you move
different.
stuff.
Oh wait, 21? Okay, I'm gonna burn out to give this 2 attack,
Yeah, and
and
I'm
then it
taking
gets plus
3.
4. And then it will, oh, and the 3 from that.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So then you will get Shambler procs, but you'll be at 0 before that
Exactly.
happens.
That'll do it. Great game.
GG, wow, that was one of the closest,
Yeah.
scariest games I've ever played.
Yeah, it's that
Dang.
Gale Surge. I'm looking at the Gale Surge because I forgot to look at what your level 3 ability was, and it wouldn't have changed how I had to play my lanes anyway. But I'm looking at that, I'm just like, oh man, like this is gonna be really tough to live through. Because my initial line before you played Darkheart, the plan was play the Shambler, kill the Kindred Bear, deal 2, gain 2, get you down to then as long as you don't kill me in combat damage, the Shambler will die, and then
Hmm.
everything's good to go. And then I looked at your ability again, I'm like, oh no. But then at that point, I was like, I don't think there's any way I finagle this. Like if you didn't have a spell, I think that's the only way that I live through that turn. Which the odds were because you played Darkheart first. You did have one. That was a great game.
Yeah, GG, wow. This is the first time I've ever transformed Night Apotheosis twice.
That's crazy. And then I was looking at the thing because it says if you deal damage to the enemy creature with enemy player with another creature. So I'm like, Darkheart transforms both of these if this is out
Hmm.
still. So I think maybe I needed to prioritize killing the Cesarol a little quicker.
Which is hard because then if you do that, then you're not pushing the damage that you otherwise would have been pushing because you were super aggressive. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
scared if you find a season 2 deck with some a couple of Doom creatures,
Oh yeah.
these Kindred are going to be terrifying. It's just to be able to. I don't need breakthrough. I'll just kill it and hit that directly to your opponent's health.
Yeah, me being on Forge here, I think was the biggest issue as well on this last
Mm-hmm.
turn because, granted, you had stealth and stuff to deal with, but I needed to just be able to block whatever you can move with your Gale Surge.
Yeah, the Gale Surge is really strong off of Forge.
Yeah, and I was hoping to hit the Feral Instinct um this turn because it's like I went through, I was like I can deal the damage, try to like with this get you to 3, but I was like I need to have a follow up to just do death. So it's like the Soul Reap would have done it right off the bat. Like, well, I didn't have the
Mhm.
Beast out yet, but the Soul Reap would have been in a good spot, and then the Feral Instinct was the other option. But
If you had Feral Instinct, what my plan was is since you've got Breakthrough, then the way I would have moved was first move this. You wouldn't have had the extra blocker in
yeah,
the Shambler. I would have moved to this over, and then moved this over here. And then I would be attacking with 3 creatures. I would take the brunt of the 40, and then I would hit you for more than you hit me.
for sure. Yeah,
Although
no,
you do get the buff on the attack, maybe that would have done it.
yeah. Well, either way, this was a really close game. That
Super
literally came
close,
down to
yeah.
that. That was a lot of fun. Like I'm just like towards at that last turn, I was like, is there anything I could do? And I think no matter what I could have done, no matter how I could have arranged it, there was nothing I could have done to block all the damage. Just because Gale Surge, that's an ability. I think that was the best use of Gale Surge I've seen so far, just to get everything exactly where it needed to be for the victory.
My where I was placing this on here or here, I was keeping Gale Surge. I'm like, oh, I want it here, but I think for the potential of movement, I want all of my creatures as separated as possible.
I agree. Then
Um,
that was the right choice. And
yeah.
like I had to play this here because that at least took your Knight Apotheosis
Hmm.
thesis out of because no matter what, if you can move it to like you couldn't get it here. So I was like, the
Hmm.
most I'm taking is 2 creatures worth, but then a spell is just lethal.
And so actually, even if now that I'm thinking about this, if your hope was to block everything and then post combat kill me with the shamble, the Night Apotheosis would have died, transformed, and I would have put it, and then it would have been a spell to do an extra trigger of damage and healing before the post combat batch would happen.
Actually, because this triggers, and I'm on the Forge, I think mine would have happened first.
The
It
interesting thing about these transforming things is it says if this would be destroyed, transform it and put it into one of your lanes without an exalt. Oh,
okay.
without an exalt. So I couldn't. Yeah, I still could have played a spell, but it
Oh,
doesn't happen on the batch. It is when it dies instead of dying, you place it. So it would happen during combat before the post combat batch.
oh,
Which
interesting.
it's yeah, it's very strange that this works outside of the batch system, but it's not technically a triggered ability.
So if that's the case, then I think the combat turn where this died the first time, because you dealt damage to me, would this have immediately flipped because of the damage you dealt during
So I
combat?
deal the damage during combat, which this is alive as an apotheosis, and then it transforms. So the damage happens before this thing dies. So it's before this thing transforms. So it's
Okay.
before the night aspect is there to then transform back.
Okay, but this would actually happen before um the damage, but then because you have this off. So this is just me for making sure I understand the interaction.
Oh wait, no,
Um
you're right because the off forge damage would have because it puts the dark heart onto the stack and then onto the batch and
but
then yours goes and then mine
would
goes.
this be on the batch first though? Because if yours happens before mine happens, I think this would still occur first.
So they
Maybe.
both get triggered during combat, and then so we both have those on the batch. And then post combat
Oh.
batch happens, and you have the forge, so yours resolves first. So I take back everything I just said about this transforming and then dealing damage because it still has to go onto the batch for the dark heart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the point still stands. It's that these transforming things work outside of the batch, which
Yeah.
there is and I figured this out by talking to Nick, and I figured out if you have uh, 2 level 3 devouring and a level 2 devouring, every time you play a spell, that's -8, -8. So if
Yes.
you have a Dark Heart and a Rumble Spark, and then 3 of those devouring, you can
Keep
play
killing
a spell, it
that.
transforms. And originally I was like, oh, the batching doesn't work right to get the Rumble Spark out. And then Nick was like, oh, but it doesn't happen on the batch. And then because of that, there is an OTK with an absurd setup of 2 level 3 devourings and a level 2 devouring and a Dark Heart and a Rumble Spark.
I
So
love
that's
it.
literally your entire field. But it's
It's
possible.
possible. That's
And there
insane.
are much better other ones. Like Grandfather's got this deck. I figured out if you've had the Syntheta's Lab
Yep.
and Nexus Core, that's a combo. And I saw him like looking for decks with that, and I messaged him. I'm like, "Oh, do you have that combo?" And he's like, "Oh, and I've got 2 parts to it in a deck." I was like, "Oh, that was the deck I've been looking for." Uh,
Yep.
but
And
yeah, he
Cardboard Dude
got it.
also opened one of those too, and me and him played a
Oh,
bunch of games
nice.
yesterday. It's a nasty deck.
Yeah,
But thank you for this game. And the thing about this deck, so this one, it's funny because it has the ability to go very aggro and gain a ton of life and kind of go big. I would actually consider this like more of one of my mid tier decks because it doesn't have enough removal. That's the biggest problem here is that like it's
mm,
literally got Soul Reap and Om Nom Nom, and I think those are the only 2 pieces of removal, and they're both conditional, kind of. Oh, and Varix Embrace,
yeah,
I guess, but it still is just like you can't really just unconditionally remove anything. So it's like I can't get rid of a Dark Heart when it lands, and it's like I have to kill it with combat. And if I'm killing stuff with combat, that means I'm not actually pushing the aggro damage. Um, so this is one where I'm like I enjoy playing it. It's just like I can't see this winning a major tournament. Um, but it's still something that I was like, hey, you know what? Let's play something that I'll have fun with. Because not many times I get to build something this big off of Kindred.
yeah. That I love Kindred Slayer as because it's like the level 1. If you ignore it, it can get big. But then the level 2, it's like, and 3, they're not going to be able to immediately deal with it. So it does get the chance to scale
Exactly.
up.
Yep. That's the biggest thing with the Kindred Slayer. And like the Kindred Bear, it gets kind of big level cycle 2, but it's still killable. When you hit this
Mhm.
as a 17-19 right off the bat on cycle 3, it's just like, ooh, like it's
Yeah,
tough to remove. And then at that point, I feel like I gain life twice. It's just like gets out of hand. But again, unless I draw the Feral Instinct, it's Trump City.
but I do love the hematophagic shambler though.
Yeah,
Letting it kill something to immediately get that specifically because you have the kindreds and the glow hive, so you are double procking on the kindreds.
exactly.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, if I could get that to work out, it's just like at that turn specifically, having one creature on board, it wasn't possible to make it happen. But if I can have, um, like the Relentless Wanderers make a wisp and then sack it, that can like kind of push that forward a little bit. But this is a fun deck to play, and I really like your build here. This makes me respect Cesarol a lot more too, because this is the first time I would say I really played against it. And this definitely like the Night Apotheosis being able to have stealth and keep transforming back if you have these 2 out in the field at the same time as well. That just kind of makes for a crazy board of value.
I totally understand how this experience gives Ceruzal some credit, but I have played this deck a bit, and this is the most I've ever seen this. I rarely ever get to transform that. The real role of this in this deck is to
Give something with
with
stealth.
give an elemental stealth.
That's
So
huge.
then, if I just put a spell sprite in this lane and I have a forge, I can't block it, and then that's just another way to get the Rumble Spark out if I don't have the Dark Heart.
No, that makes complete sense.
But this is the most, yeah, this is the most I've ever gotten the Night Apotheosis out, and it did a lot of value this game.
Yeah, and that was really cool to see. So, and if anything, that being in the deck with the Dark Heart too is awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah, that because it procs and yeah, I have 2 of these. I call this the name of this fuse deck is Endlessly Bound because I just keep bringing out all my soul binds.
Yep, that's insane. And plus every time you play the soul binds or they transform, it's just like more dark heart triggers. So even if they don't flip, it's just like more
Hmm.
direct damage to the face, more triggers for your rumble spark. Like being able to have this die to make your rumble spark bigger was huge too, because it just pushed a little extra pressure that I had to decide, do I want to block it, yes or no. And um, this is definitely interesting because like the version I play of Rumble Spark,
Hmm.
it's very much like very spell heavy, very removal heavy. Um, where this one had a little bit more of a mid range feel, which was really cool to see. Um, and it definitely felt very successful too.
There's another cool combo with the Grave Pact to
Yep.
kill off the Night Apotheosis, or the if I have a Dark Heart, if I just kill off the Rumble Spark with the Grave Pact, killing something else, then immediately bringing back the triggering the Dark Heart again with the Rumble Spark energy to double spell proc with the Dark Heart, and then bring back the Rumble Spark and use that as fodder for the removal.
Yeah.
Is
And that's huge. I've done that a couple times in my version, and it feels so good because you get so much value, especially if it's like a 4/8 still, because it hasn't gained power yet, and it's just like, all right, let me destroy my Rumble Spark, kill one of your things, re-get it in a different lane if I want, and it's just like the amount of value that you can get out of that is so good.
Well, now I've got a niche interaction which I'm assuming doesn't work, but I'm going to message Nick about it. If I grave pact, if if I grave pact my Rumble Spark, it sees the spell, so the buff goes onto the batch.
Hmm.
I kill it, and then I transform this and put it here. And now the batch happens. There's two things on the batch. There's the damage from Darkheart, and then there's the buff for Rumble Spark. If I do the damage for Darkheart first, then to transform it back, now that he's back in play, does that thing that was put onto the batch before he died still revolve on him, or does he not count?
Oh, that's interesting. You'll have to let me know what Nick says on that because that's the biggest thing I don't think I fully understood was that the transform doesn't use the batch. So by that being destroyed, I think that makes sense. Although I think the Dark Heart damage might resolve after the Grave Pack because it says destroy two. So I
So
think
yes, so
this will
I destroy
resolve.
it. Well, so the spell resolves, but the issue is the triggered ability by playing the spell for the Rumble Spark.
Yeah. My guess is that the Grave Pact would have to finish resolving before the Rumble Spark can have the ability to come back off the Dark Heart trigger. But I could be wrong. So I don't know if you can destroy, gain the life before the destruction because the that's tough.
Okay, hold on. I'm just being messaged by Ben because I guess he was watching the stream that there are some things happening.
Yeah, I had a delay on, so I saw a couple of messages from Ben come through as well. But they were
Oh,
so what did Ben
yeah.
say?
So if I have another creature, uh, so when this Night Apotheosis died,
Hmm.
went back. Then the Ceruzal post combat triggers if something else did it. Here, I'm going to clean up my board so I can clearly explain what I'm trying to explain right now. So let's say I had the Night Apotheosis
Hmm.
and um, an unblocked Rumble Spark here. It doesn't matter what that attack is. This guy dies, and then this guy deals damage to you as a player. Then as this guy dies, he transforms back. Now it goes into the post combat batch where another creature did damage the enemy player. So then immediately the Night Aspect will transform back into Night Apotheosis because it transformed back into Night Aspect pre batch. And then during the batch, this resolves, retransforming the Night Apotheosis.
Interesting.
Which is yeah. He then asked that question while we were doing the match in the rules channel.
And Nick
Um,
confirmed.
Nick confirmed. Yep.
That's interesting. So I think like part of me wishes it used the batch just because I feel like it's not an intuitive interaction, but I also understand why it wouldn't use the batch and why it would react that way. I think that makes Cesarol a lot stronger though by allowing that to happen, where it could die in combat your Knight Apotheosis, and then it will immediately flip back if Cesarol
Mhm.
is out. That's cool. I like that. So at least now that the interaction is known, hopefully people will make sure they just know it for champ or for tournaments moving forward. But I think that
Yeah,
means you really have to prioritize just removing this instead of
which is
something
great
else.
because there's other high priority targets in this deck too.
Yes, for sure. No, that's awesome.
I,
That's great to know. Thank you, Ben.
yeah, and then Justice Blinded put in that for bonus celerity, if you give Breakthrough to the Apotheosis, then he will be the creature that deals damage, trades, and then reanimate himself if the Ceruzal is still
I
there.
love it. I love it.
Oh, and I guess
Awesome.
the Ceruzal doesn't even have to live because it's a triggered ability that goes onto the battle. Even if she dies in combat, it will still post combat come back.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Wow, there are so many very niche, and I think this idea of do something instead of being destroyed, if this would be destroyed, it's kind of setting up the potential for other effects that are replacement effects where when you would do this instead do this that kind of
Yes.
act at instant speed as opposed to the batch system. So I think it might be the setup for more things, and if there are more things in the game it might be a little more intuitive if it's not just these weird niche interactions. But then it, yeah, so I'm excited. I love this game and I love to see what's coming out in set 3 and on.
Me too. And actually, it's funny because Ben just replied, and again, my chat is 5 minutes delayed, so I don't know exactly what he's responding to. But it says, no, transforming back to Rumble Spark creature does use the batch. So is it what? So
No,
hold on. So
no, it doesn't. Transforming Rumble Spark doesn't. I Unless it was changed
unless it's
from when I
transforming
asked
to the
Nick.
creature, because he said transforming back to Rumble Spark creature does use the batch. So maybe it's when it dies, transforming the spell doesn't use the batch, but maybe the creature does.
Oh,
I think what we need to do is we might need to just talk to Ben about this when we're not delayed. That
yeah,
way,
it,
that way we can know
yeah,
exactly what's going on.
yeah. Ben, or here. Can I just invite Ben into this call?
That would be great.
How do I get back to this call? And then I say invite, add friends. No, I don't know how Discord works. Uh,
Here, we could also just jump into one of the game rooms real quick, and then just be like, Ben, jump into this game room.
yeah. Yeah, let's just jump over into the Stoneblade room.
All right, Stoneblade room. All right, so hopefully we can get Ben in here.
Yeah, he said he will. Just needs a second.
All right, awesome.
Okay, yeah, I think he's right on the Rumble Spark energy transforming because it's not replacing a dying effect. It would be triggered, but I'm not sure. Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Oh, how's it going? I need to mute the. Oh, hi, Rowan. Yeah, okay.
All right. So yeah, I think you might be able to explain a little better now that you're not on, because I had a delay on my stream today. So we were seeing your comments, but they were late, and we're like, "What is it responding to?" So we're like, "Let's just see if we can get you on a call."
Gotcha. Okay, so the one I was gonna talk to you about. Yes, hi, buddy. Sorry, I'm watching my son right
Oh,
now. He keeps saying hi, daddy, because I'm talking on the phone. Um, so yeah, the Grave Pack Rumble Spark doesn't work the way Eli wants it to. It won't see the plus. Well, okay, what happens is you play Grave Pact, you have Rumble Spark on the field. Um, Rumble Spark will trigger the +4. Grave Pact will also trigger the Dark Heart. That's all well and good, but you destroy the Rumble Spark, put it in the Dark Heart lane. Now, when you put it in the Dark Heart lane, it'll trigger the deal damage to transform it, right?
Hmm.
However, you have to wait for the other Rumble Spark +4 to resolve before you can get, because that creates a new batch.
But the if we start with the Rumble Spark, all of that in my theoretically in my head, I think they all go into the same batch because you play Grave Pact, killing the Rumble Spark, and since the Rumble Spark is the instead that happens instantaneously when it's dying.
Correct.
So two things are put onto the batch. Dying, playing the Rumble Spark. So there are three things that go onto the batch: two Dark Heart triggers and the buff for Rumble Spark. Right?
Yes, but
Oh, I
once
see what you're saying. And now this one isn't
the Dark
going
Heart resolves,
to.
that's when the
Yeah.
Dark Hearts trigger a new batch for the Rumble Spark. So you can't bring it back until after all those three have resolved.
Yeah, because the Rumble Spark energy isn't instantaneous. It's only on the creature transforming into Exalt that's out of the batch system, not the Exalt
Correct.
transforming into the creature. Okay.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
I see that. Yep.
Yeah, that still uses the batch. It's just
So,
the other one's like a replacement.
and I don't even if the creature did come back in the right time, I still don't know if that buff would affect it. I don't know because is a creature considered the same creature kind of rule, and I don't remember what the current ruling is on that.
Yeah, I had wondered about that too. I think it does because of how they had to errata Stitcher.
Hmm.
But I'll have to double check with Nick on that because the Stitcher will recognize that it's the same Stitcher when it goes into the banish. So I would assume that the Rumble Spark will recognize it's the same Rumble Spark when it comes back, if that actually works. But I don't think it does.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to confirm batch timing, so if the Rumble Spark or the Night Apotheosis die, does it happen before damage is dealt, during damage is dealt, when it instantaneously flips?
So it's
During,
when
during.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make
during,
sure.
yeah.
So it would see it during damage. That's when it would know, okay, this isn't actually dying. It will just transform.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
then
So
all
like, and then all
triggers will hit.
triggers on. Yeah.
Perfect.
Because it happens when they talk about like combat is all simultaneous,
Hmm.
damage and destruction all simultaneous. That happens in that simultaneous
Perfect.
phase.
I just wanted to make sure that is the space it happens, because I think that clarifies kind of why the apotheosis can then flip back, because it's already
Mm-hmm.
flipped before the Sezreal trigger goes into the batch.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes complete
Yep.
sense.
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't check until it resolves. So it's
perfect.
already night back by then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for the clarification on those points. And if
Yeah,
anything,
absolutely.
I'm glad that you still won MooreThanMoost, because at that point, if this came back earlier, that would have put more pressure on me as well. So
Unless did I use the stealth because it is a May ability, so it's not like we cheat. Well, I'll just say I chose not to.
sure.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
guess
true.
either way, the result ended the same.
Yeah.
But that was a great game. I appreciate it, and
Yeah, it was a very good game.
this was a cool learning experience too.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun. That was the super close game. We were both like, no, I'm scared of you.
Yep. That Gale Surge though was so good, and like I had to use my army commander when I did, but like at
Mhm.
that point, it's just like part of me wishes I was able to save it, because at that point, like having it this following turn would have been really nice as well. But yeah, that was tight.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I gotta get going because I have like I think actually three other streams I need to do today, and
Okay.
then I'm off today. But I would say let's play another game, but I'll definitely love to play another game soon.
Yeah, no, and hey, congrats on going through and doing all the content creation because I
Oh,
have been
thank
trying
you.
that and not succeeding at doing that. And now with the board game class, I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, I'm just gonna try to take things slowly and one step at a time. But good on you.
I
That's
appreciate
awesome.
it. And yeah, if you ever want to stream with me, or I know Anka's also doing a lot of streaming and content as well, like
Yes.
I think both of us would be very happy to have you.
I definitely will.
Sure.
Gonna take kind of reassess with this board game class, kind of figure out what my schedule is. But I love SolForge. and I want to put out content and help the game grow. So I'm at least I can help you put out some content right now.
For sure. And yeah, this was a great game. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy watching this back.
Yeah, and I also need to fix the collection manager because it's slightly broke. The search system doesn't work right now, so I got to do that too. But all right, you guys both have wonderful days.
Yeah, both of
Yeah,
you
take
as
it easy,
well.
guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. This was a great game. This was really close. It really came down to the wire there. But I had a lot of fun. I think that Nova Elementalist is just a really strong deck, and I'm really excited to see how well it paired with Sezerol. It makes me want to kind of reconsider some of my builds and see if I could make something kind of similar. I know MooreThanMoost said that he basically doesn't really get to transform Sezerol too often, or sorry, the Knight Apotheosis very often, but I still think that having this as like an extra um, option if you don't draw your Rumble Spark or your Nova, being able to still hit your Sezerol and then potentially flip off of the damage from your Dark Heart, that could also be really good. So I think that's an awesome build. MooreThanMoost really comes up with some really cool combos, really cool batch triggers that he could come through with a lot of the decks that he builds. So I know, like he was saying before, he kind of helped theorize the Mad Lab combo that both Grandfather and Cardboard Newt have been playing. So yeah, it's he's a great player with some really cool decks, and I'm very happy that we got to play today because it's been a long time since the two of us have had the opportunity to play together. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I will be playing a couple other streams today. I'm going to be playing against Dr. Atalis in the Monday night tabletop simulator league, and I also will be playing um, a stream bounty challenge as well later today. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll be doing that against It's Pound. I also will, as long as we both have time, me and Grandfather will also be playing the top cut of the Tabletop Simulator League from last month. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you guys a little later today.